just to get to know more about you for this podcast, I would like just to know more about you regarding your future, about your career.
All right. There's probably a lot more to talk about my past and my future because I was in the hotel business for 50 years.
Yeah.
I started as a hotel apprentice in Vienna, Austria, and then moved around the world, and I ended up as vice president in Saudi Arabia with Rosewood Hotels.
Wow.
For 20 years, I was with Ritz-Carlton Hotels. I was the vice president of food and beverage at Ritz-Carlton, and several general manager positions. And since 2013, I've been at SHMS, my favorite job. Pleasure is mine.
Alright, are you ready to start?
I am so ready.
That's perfect. I can see that you have a lot of experience before. How do you maintain the relation with your previous colleague then?
Well, I only maintain the relation with the ones that want to have a relation with me. But there are a few out there, and I'm still talking. I have a little consulting business, so I'm still consulting with hotels. Most of them are previous colleagues of mine. And I don't do much of the social media network. I'm not on Facebook, I am not on Instagram, but I do a lot of emails.
That sounds impressive. Well, alright. I still have a lot of questions that I would like to ask you, but first, thank you for your answer. I propose to have a little word to talk more.
Alright.
Alright? Experience from the beginning until 15 years of experience, what can you analyze regarding this different step? Those different steps.
I can remember one of my very first experiences, which if you don't mind, I'll share with you.
Of course.
I was a waiter apprentice, and my first boss had just finished the apprenticeship. He was 18 years old, I was 15 years old, and he was really mean. He was terrible. Because he had this power trip that he was on. Well, fast forward 20 years later, but now I've made it to general manager.
Yeah.
He was still a waiter, and I was invited to a party where I was the guest of honor at the Imperial Palace in Austria, and he was my waiter.
He was
my waiter. So I said, would you come over here, bring me another beer, have this. And he kept saying, I should have gone to a foreign country too. And,
so it's like a revenge.
Well, it's also an indication. If you want to stay in the business and you want to have lots of relationships and you want to have a great career, start to travel.
I completely see what you mean, and I can just agree with it since when we have a look at your experience. Regarding this experience that you share with us, Dr. Leysin, what do you can analyze with those previous connections for your future?
Okay, well, our business is all about relationships.
Yeah.
And having these connections is really, really important. Now, you also have to know who you want to connect with.
That's true.
If you connect with the wrong people, then you probably not make it very fast. My mother used to say, if you lay down with the dogs, you catch the fleas.
Okay, interesting.
But
it's really good, actually, yeah.
If you surround yourself with other people that want to do well in the hospitality industry, and they're pretty easy to find, because most people who work in the industry work really hard, and they're very committed.
That's true.
And so wherever you could find somebody, you've got to learn. You learn about their cultures, you learn about their religions, you find out where people come from and what makes them happy. And that's both with employees, guests, bosses.
Yeah.
Everybody get in touch with, and you just try to see the world the way they see it.
It's very inspirational when we can see about this story and your own experience and also point of view. Thank you for sharing this with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, regarding the social networks, as you mentioned, you're not really into it, but still, what do you think about this? And also, what do you see the connection of social media between the previous generation and the new one? Is there any differences? What do you think about this topic?
Well, of course, social media can be very, very valuable to a lot of people, especially when it comes to marketing. I'm very concerned about social media because we use social media in a personal way as a reference point. And when we see each other's pictures posted on social media, those people only show you the best part of their lives.
That's true.
The 95% of the life they do not show you. So we try to be as good as they are 5% of their life, which could really make us pretty depressed.
Yeah.
And research shows already that especially Instagram has some damaging results.
That's true.
So we have to be careful. That's why I'm not on Facebook or on Instagram.
What about SHMS? Because if you have a look, yes, the school still use this platform to show the best part of us.
Yes, as a business or as an educational institution, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the students, and I cannot stop the students from using Facebook and social media. I'm just going to send out a little warning with it. But from a business standpoint, social media is, you cannot live without it anymore.
Yeah.
That most certainly has changed.
Okay. Between the previous generation and the new generation, what can you see between them in terms of social networks? Because each generation use different ones.
Well, the social media is always become a big thing for our students here, or for young people in general. What makes it different? We didn't have as much choice. What makes it difficult for the new generation is there's so much choice, so many things to choose from, and they have to decide what not to do. We didn't have that problem. We had a telephone if we were lucky, and that was it. And maybe we just yodeled across the valley to communicate, but that's about it. I think that's the difficult part. On the other hand, it's brought people together. And you can see people from different cultures communicating much better than they did before.
And COVID also helped the situation if you have a look, because after COVID, we could analyze that during the whole pandemic, we keep connection by social media since the contacts were harder.
Yes, so that for the pandemic, social media really was important.
What do you think then about after the pandemic, now that we're having strong connection with the whole world?
I think we've gone right back to where we were before.
Yeah.
Those people who have used it before are now using it again or continue to use it, and people who did not use much social media before don't use it anymore. I think we're back to where we were.
Okay, so from an SCG position, what do you see between the connection between the previous, but also the new generation?
Well, generational differences always existed. I know that my parents were appalled when we had long hair, like the Beatles. And now, of course, we old people are appalled about some of the things the young generation does. However, I think that the young generation today are truly special. I think they're much more caring than we were. Yeah. They're not as self-centered, at least the ones I see at our school.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The friendships that seem to be deeper, and they're just more open to what's out in the world. I have great hope, and I know that the new generation will take our industry to a whole other level, especially when they come from our school.
That's true. That's true. Well, I can also say, regarding our world of hospitality, which also includes sustainability, our society is also concerned about sustainability. Even in terms of social media, we try to share as much as we can. So as a fact, we can analyze that social media can also bring something sustainable, share more the message of the sustainability to hoteliers from different generations. Because now, if you have a look, even the previous generation tried to use other platforms such as Instagram or even in this new industry, TikToks, I would say, to share a message. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this?
Well, one of the great things, of course, is that we don't use as much paper.
That's true.
We used to send out all these mailers, and now at the top of a button, we can reach 1 million people, which is wonderful. So I think that also helps. Sustainability has become a big issue. Thank goodness it has, and hopefully we continue to wake up. Our industry has to be very careful. We have to really focus on it, because if we're so much connected with travel, And long distance travel really is not the best thing for our sustainability. So I hope that we can start concentrating on close-in tourism. Here in Switzerland, you could go half an hour and go to a place where people come from around the world to go visit it. And wherever those people come from, they probably don't know their own backyard either. So hopefully we'll get to a point where the closed-in travel becomes more popular. And that would be the best thing that we could do for sustainability, in my opinion, in the tourism industry.
Regarding sustainability, this topic remains very important for us, especially for our event, because we want to focus on the connection between hoteliers from different scale, at all scales, I would say, but also sustainability, because as we mentioned before, it's a new topic we want to focus more, since we're the new generation, sharing this into an event related to hospitality.
Yes, and SHMS has done such a wonderful job with that in the past, and I'm sure you will do it again this time. You're using local products, and we have some very nice local products that people love. And I know you're using some recyclable items and really keeping waste to a minimum at the World of Hospitality, which is a wonderful example for our students, but also to show the community that we really care.
Well, from the beginning of this event, we visited a bee farm. We also tried to now make pastries with the honey, and we wish to pursue by sharing the message of knowing that this topic must be taken into consideration, not only from the previous generation, but all generations, because it's something now that came in this new society. We have to face that, but we're also thinking about what's going to happen next.
Right.
At the same time, I would say, well, yes, sustainability is also important, but I cannot tell you everything because we have some surprises. So maybe I think I should keep this so you might be surprised during our events. And you will see by yourself what I wanted to tell you now, but I would like to prefer to keep it, so we will see.
I can't wait to see the secret things.
Let's get back to the topic that we were talking about just before, relation. What are, from your own perspective, the keywords to maintain good relation between people?
There are three things that matter. If you want to have a good relationship with anybody, and we should try to have good relationships with people around us, even if they see the world differently than we see. The first thing is we have to like something about the person, or at least respect something about the person. So can we respect or like something about anybody? Of course we can. We can always find something. That's number one. The second is we have to look for things that we have in common, a reality that we share. If you and I share that the ceiling is green and nobody else sees it that way, it's our reality, right? Now, in the hospitality industry, that's easy. If we share our common reality that we want to take care of our guests, whatever it takes, then we already have something in common.
Yes.
And finally, and maybe that's where your social media comes in, we have to communicate.
Sure.
The more we communicate, the better our relationship gets. The worst thing that we can do is, I don't like you because you don't have the same worldview that I have, so I'm just not going to talk with you. That's the end of the relationship.
So then it's about as well passion as a fact, because it's the passion and the interest of both people that connect them together.
Yeah, but I cannot count on the other ones. I have to make that step.
That's true. I wanted to ask you a question, but I'm pretty sure you will love this question. From your position from SCG, why did you want to become part of SHMS or SCG?
Do you mean from my position as a hotel manager and as vice president of a hotel?
Exactly.
I was happy you asked me that question.
Yeah.
Because allow me to quote or paraphrase a German philosopher by the name of Arthur Schopenhauer. And he said that in your young life, your energy burns like the sun. You want to achieve, you want to thrive, you want to have good relationships with your spouse, you want to have children go to college. But then when you reach the retirement age, the sun that's burning so hot starts to settle. And things are getting cool, just like the sunset that we see here now. And you're worried, what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
It's over. But then it's nighttime and the stars come out. And the students in this school are my stars that I have finally have a time to watch them see grow.
It's very beautiful. I'm impressed. Like, I want to say just thank you from the beginning of this podcast for sharing with us your passion, your opinion, your experience. And I don't know what to say. I would just like to say thank you.
Well, just join my MSc class.
I will, for sure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.